Oh, I was talking about how 92% of people still have their old stuffed animal from when they were a kid. Everybody had something. You had some sort of, stuffed animal or whatever when you were a kid. But people still, 92% of adults still have that crap, which is crazy.
Do you mind if I just jump in?
Yeah, go ahead.
Because I love that. It puts a smile on my face. And if somehow, some way, there are little children listening to this right now, please understand your childhood is one of the best things ever. Don't be in a rush to grow up. Enjoy it, embrace it, because I feel confident in saying on behalf of all adults, we miss it.
Why do you think I love having little kids around? Because I can still...
You can use them as an excuse to play with toys?
Well, I can still access that part of me without having it be weird going down. Because one thing I like to do is so stupid, but everybody has you have a way of playing with your toys. Everybody has different ways of playing. And I would, to say that my imagination would run wild when I was playing with my toys would be an understatement. I would have my G.I. Joe toys. I had He-Man toys. I had my Transformer toys. I had, my wrestling toy, everything. All right. And I would just make it. See, I was ahead of the game. I was way ahead of the game. I would make it all one giant universe where all these toys. It was kind of like Toy Story, except to the next level, where all these toys existed.
Toy Story meets Marvel.
Oh my God!
The MCU.
Yeah, and depending on my mood, sometimes it was a universe where they all got along, and sometimes each toy was almost like their own, I guess, a country, and they were all warring with each other. Right? Is that?
My eyes are getting watery, man.
Isn't that? And that's what I'll do. And I'll notice my son doing that, and I think some of it I instilled in him because we'll be playing with something, and then all of a sudden I'll randomly grab something else. I'll grab a freaking one of his cars or something, and be like, "Oh, you got to be careful! This guy's coming in and doing this."
Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm probably gonna be talking a whole bunch, so y'all forgive me. Core memories are being unlocked, and my eyes. Remember, I said I haven't cried in a long time.
You said.
I'm feeling it right now. Yo, remember digging through the toy box to find your toys?
The one that you wanted.
And then when you found the one that and then the different voices that you had for the characters that you were talking and.
I don't think I had a toy box.
If you played, did you play in your bedroom?
Yeah,
okay.
In the bedroom, in the hallway.
Yeah. Okay, in the bedroom. Did was there a hierarchy? Was the toys on the bed kind of they had a higher level in the world compared to the toys that were on the floor?
I had a bunk bed, and so the ones on the top bunk were in charge.
Leroy, we probably would have been amazing play partners as kids.
But what if you disagreed on which toys were
you figure it out.
higher of the toys?
Yeah. You figure that's what you do as kids, and that's part of being a kid. That's a whole nother conversation of why if you have an only child, you mandatorily must have another kid. But anyway, I would do that with my cousins all the time. We'd play, and in the middle of the playing, you figure it out. They want to do something, you want to do something else. Sometimes you'd scatter them, not scatter, but you just mix them all together. You would take a bunch. They would take a bunch. It'd be all different types of toys, and you would be warring with each other.
Yeah.
And let me tell you something. Nothing builds, I guess, cooperation more in little kids than doing some sort of battle with toys and deciding who wins the war at the end.
But before the war started,
because everybody wants to win.
Before the war started, I know I did this. There was a 5-second pause when I would sit back and just admire how I lined up everything. How I had all the toys lined up, and you were just yeah, I did that. And then it was on and cracking.
You did. It was if it was now, I would take a picture of how I assembled everything.
Yep.
Oh
it's almost like how little girls do doll houses and all that stuff and put things in certain. You would do that. You'd have your, whatever, because you always had at least one. You might not have had them all. You never had every full collection, but you had at least one base, whether it was the castle from the He-Man or the G.I. Joe base, and that would be the main fortress.
Yeah, see, I had a lot of stuff and a lot of toys, and I collected things, But I never did that whole like building a world thing with them. Like I just like one of the things I always loved collecting like little small things and like having a bunch of them. But I don't think like, and I would interact with them kind of individually more so than like put them all together. Like one of the things I had was like the Smurfs. I loved the Smurfs. Each one of them had their own little thing going on. There was like Hefty Smurf that liked to lift weights, and there was, you know, Papa Smurf,
And
Smurf, you know.
What would you just do? Just put him in the corner and be like, "Oh, Hefty Smurf is working
No,
out."
it was like I don't know. It was just like whichever one I felt like I needed was the one that I would kind of. Mine was more about interacting with individual things as opposed to like building. And I was thinking too, like I think like everyone unfortunately did not have an amazing childhood, and there are kids who had, you know, whatever the situation in their home was or whatever, but toys I think were always like a comfort or an escape for a lot of kids. So I think that's maybe where the difference in the way people reacted with their toys. Like Melissa, you said you didn't have a whole lot of toys, but didn't you
I had
have
dolls.
a couple? So how did you?
They were just like thrown all over my room. They were either on my bed or like on. I never had like an actual toy box.
No,
You know
but
what
it
was?
wasn't like a special. Like there wasn't one that was like special. That
Oh yeah.
You just, you
oh,
know.
the Cabbage Patch dolls. But with the Cabbage Patch dolls, you kept them in the box. That was how you kept them. Like, you know.
Oh,
You
mine
them
wasn't.
You keep them in the box and you keep them in the room, and then well, yeah, some were
As a
thrown
little
around.
kid, like that thought went in your head, like I have to leave these in the box.
No, maybe not. It was more so like this is how you store them. I don't know. It was maybe after the fact.
My box
I
was
threw 'em
destroyed. I
around.
couldn't
Right.
tear the box up fast enough to get the toy
Yeah.
out.
Yep. Them little jokers were like this is gonna sound so corny. Music and my toys were like friends. It is what it is.
Yeah.
They were like my
Yes.
little buddies. They kept me company and all that stuff.
You
Man.
know what I did more than play with dolls per se was games. I loved games. And it was always like my brother or like my friends, and I'm talking like Chutes and
I was
Ladders
about
and
to say Shoots and Ladder.
stuff like that.
Candyland.
Candyland was
Yeah.
another big one. Yeah.
Books were my friend. Not that
Hey,
anybody's
hey.
surprised about
Yeah.
that.
I
But
get it.
yeah, I mean, that was another thing. That was like, I mean, I guess it could fall into the toy thing, but you know,
Can I
Not
tell
in
you
my
now-
house. I didn't get into books until I was older.
really?
Until I was older. For me, books was something that you were forced. Actually, I'm
Oh.
lying. I am lying because there was the thing, the
Book fairs?
book fair.
Scholastic
Oh,
book
yes!
fair.
Yeah. That where I would like getting books, and also I used to enjoy the
The Scholastic Book Fair thing. Is that what you're talking about?
yeah. And I used to enjoy
Yeah.
the oh my god, I can't think of, well, like Mad Magazine and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But there was the book where it said, give me a noun, give me a verb. give
Mad
me an-
Libs?
Mad Libs.
Yes.
Oh my god.
And you used to make them as dirty as possible.
As dirty. I'll never forget there was a story where it had to do with the Flintstones, and I'll never forget the phrase.
Yep.
Bam Bam grabbed give me a noun, tiger. Give me another noun, dick. Bam Bam grabbed the tiger by the
yeah.
dick and spun him around. I'll never forget telling that story when we were done, and I couldn't stop laughing just picturing that.
You know what? I feel like if graphic novels were out the way that they are now, you would have like.
Probably.
I mean,
Yeah.
did you get into comic books?
Oh yeah, comic books. See, I didn't consider
But that
those books.
I
back-
consider
yeah.
it like reading, and it's
Yeah.
just all like when you think about it, comic books have like
Oh.
these serious
Oh,
like
yeah.
plots and storylines, and
It's
you know,
it's like those soap operas that they're like, oh, this soap opera, they've been doing storylines since the 70s, and I'm like, that's what comic books are, man. They got them
Yeah.
old school storylines, and you gotta. I'll still never forget one time one of my older daughters. It was like second or third grade, and you had like the meeting with the teacher, and you're always like, when you have like those meetings at first, after you have them for a while, you kind of like know what to expect, unless like your kid takes a freaking left turn or whatever. But and this was like one of the early ones, and I'm like, all right, let's see how this is gonna go. And she said, your daughter's reading comprehension is amazing. She said, we'll be reading a story, and I'll say, what do you think's going to happen next to the kids? And the other kids will raise their hand and give really, basic answers that are at the age level. And she goes, and your daughter will raise her hand and talk about the connection between two characters in the past. And that's why she thinks this is going to happen because of whatever. And I said, comic books.
Yeah.
I go, that's because of comic books, 100%, because I had them going to comic book stores early.
Yep.
And I got the little ones. I just got them into the X-Men 97.
Oh boy, here we go.
Yep, we'll be visiting the comic book store very soon.
Oh, childhood.
Can I tell y'all how far my playing with my toys would go? I used to have church with my toys. I used to line them up on the stairs.
Like at home, you
at
would have
home,
church.
and we go to church.
What were you like?
I was like
the pastor?
Yeah. So we do that.
Not surprising.
And then the other thing, when we would have these little wars, if they died, I literally buried them outside.
Stop it.
I kid you
Your
not.
toy?
I buried my toys. I would bury them.
What?
And I remember my Optimus Prime. He died in the war.
That
We buried him
is
outside. We had a
funny.
funeral. It was like fall. It stayed out there all fall, all winter, and then he came back.
Rose from the
He
dead.
rose from the dead in spring. And when I dug him up, I mean, all dirty and that, but yeah, went that far. Went that far.
This is why it's so important that kids like really play and
Yeah.
are given the space to just like
Oh,
play with their use their imagination and
Yeah. And then one of the saddest days in my life though was when my imagination, I'm not gonna say it went away, but I heard a voice on the inside say, "Get off the floor and stop playing with your toys."
no.
Yep.
Oh my
I remember I was
God.
in
That was the devil.
I was in
depressing.
front of my bedroom door, slightly in the hall.
No.
I had on tidy whities. I'll never forget. I had on tidy whities and a tight white t-shirt. And I'm just doing my little talking, and then I heard a voice on the inside say, "What are you doing?
No.
Get up off the floor. You're too old for
you
this."
serious?
And that was it.
You actually heard a voice say that?
And that was it. The voice in my head, and that was it.
I don't even remember when
Sad. One of the
devil is a
saddest
liar,
days.
Leroy.
It was so sad. So sad.
Oh,
I definitely
that
didn't
makes
hear
me
a voice.
sad.
I think my transition started when I started like liking girls, and and you know what? Also, you hit that stage where like some kids around your age group start acting like they're too cool for toys, and you start questioning if you should still play with them. But I don't even know if that was it. I think more was like, ooh, I want to play with that now.
I still play with
And it shifted.
Yeah, y'all didn't catch that.
I still wanted to play, but a different game.
We get it.
Yeah. Hey, don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you for checking us out.